They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of my actions. Yes, you said. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me, maybe just slavery, draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every crack and surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood, Slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember YAHANNA's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress. She a bomb shit. Is served cold. I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box. I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous. I bought brand new parabellums.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. Payback is a
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So tonight should be a very interesting class. All right, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. My name is Officer Kayadwan, I.S.U.P.K, Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K is run by Commanding General YAHANNA, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai Brakatham to my brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alathan Ba'asham Yahweh Shai to my sisters. And as I said, Commanding General YAHANNA is the one man with the rank and the authority to lead the children of Israel. It no matter how much other Hebrew Israelite group you see out there and the numbers, you know what I mean, lines of men in purple marching, you know what I mean, don't watch that, you know what I mean, don't watch that. The Most High don't, what you call it now, him don't him no watch numbers. You understand? The most I say, 10 shall chase, you know what I mean, 1,000. You know what I mean? Me a paraphrase. See, so and the numbers do it for the most high. Usually when you see numbers, it's normally, you know what I mean? It's normally it's an easy walk. So majority of people, you know what I mean, them just go to where the numbers is. And our people, for the most part, we get validation from numbers. That's why you see the Christian church so full up. You have the mega churches with thousands of people at a time. You understand why? Because people feel comfortable with them see other people. You understand? But we know as a fact that normally where the masses are is usually where the lie is usually where the deceit is. You understand? So don't watch the numbers. I.S.U.P.K is the foundation of the truth. We did not give anybody any authority to create any other group. You understand? As a matter of fact, if we had copyright on the group, some people would have to be paying royalty right now. You know what I mean? But of course, the truth can't be copywritten. But of course, the Most High is only dealing with one person at a time. You understand? The Most High don't deal with 10 different prophets at the same time. Every prophet have them own book in the Bible. You understand? All right, so we're going to talk a little bit. Yo, tonight class might be long. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can go, you know what I mean, straight through. All right, so we're going to talk about firstly, the first thing we're going to touch upon. Let me just give you the topics tonight. Of course, this is our Tuesday night Brotherhood class where we teach the children of Israel brotherhood to love each other. All right, some people might say, well, if you deal with brotherhood, then you talk against the Rastafari community and Christianity. You know what I mean? Even David did have to go to war with his own people to unite them. And when I mean physical war, like, of course, David went to civil war with his own people. But we are not looking to arm our brothers. You understand? But we have to dispel the lies because you can't have one man over here talk with my Rasta. Another man over here worship the blood of Jesus. You understand? Where the unity over there. But so guess what? We have to go to war with our brothers to unite our people. So, you know what I mean? If you have confidence in your belief system, you understand? Come, have a sit down with us. You know what I mean? We invite our Rastafari brothers. Of course, we are not Rastas. So when we say Rastafari brothers, it means that they are our brothers in the Rastafari community. You know what I mean? Because they are Israelites. See? So we invite you to come have a debate with we, sit down with we. You know what I mean? We are bringing out videos talking about, you know what I mean, the things that are wrong with Rastafariism. And we call it ism to provoke our brothers' response. It's not to disrespect anybody. We say ism so that you can come and defend your thing. To say, all right, look, here is the facts. This is why Selassie is the Christ. This is why Selassie is the one for us to serve. We do that willfully so that you can come and defend your cause because we have the facts, you know. But we are imploring you to come bring your facts. Prove us wrong. You understand? And we can have an amicable debate. Sit down, you know what I mean, a controlled debate where you get the time to speak, bring out your facts, we bring out our facts, you know what I mean, without any animosity, with the most respect. You understand? Because at the end of the day, brothers in the Rastafari community are our brothers. You know what I mean? Brothers in the Christian community are our brothers. You understand? We love our brothers and sisters. But guess what? There is a thing called Rasta and Christianity and Muslim and Hindu and all them things there that the Most High command us not to be a part of. You understand? Yes, so we're going to talk about the land of Judah in West Africa where they took slaves from. And you might ask yourself, then, all right, some people might say, well, we tell you say Israel in Africa. No, we're going to explain why there was a land of Judah in Africa. You know what I mean? We're going to show you how the Judites or the Jews ended up in Africa. Then we're going to touch upon Leonard Howell, the founder of the Rastafari movement. You understand? We're going to talk about Marcus Garvey and he did not even respect, he even hold Selassie up as a man. In Jamaican terms, Marcus Garvey viewed Selassie like a little waste man. But yet still the Rastafari community portray Marcus Garvey, who is dead and can't defend himself, see, as the prophet of Rastafariism. If Marcus Garvey was here, Marcus Garvey would be outraged. You understand? We're going to show you where Selassie even rejected them calling him a God. You understand? Selassie was bemused when he found out that you have people over here calling him a god. Like a god? How that? When did I become a god? You understand? Then we're gonna talk about yeah, that's it, basically. So Marcus Garvey, Selassie, Leonard Howell, Rastafariism, Negroland. See? So remember, click up the screen, share this around. You understand? Share this to your Rastafari brethren. You know what I mean? Tag your Rastafari brethren in this life and tell him, say, the I.S.U.P.K Jamaica is calling his community out on a debate. And of course, we will debate with brothers who have weight in the Rastafari community. We won't sit down with any regular pandikana, smoking weed, you know what I mean, Rastafari and that, you know what I mean, just feel like him know everything, do no research, you know what I mean. We're not going to debate them. That would be like, you know what I mean, that would be futile. We want to talk to the Rastafarian leaders them. You know what I mean? If even Muta Baruka, even though we know Muta Baruka probably, you know what I mean, now go on let go him 3 points them way there. So we have to build up the thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, because I only for foolishness Muta talk, you know. You see? Yeah, but we know him probably now go right away. You know what I mean? Give it the time of day because him probably a look on the small, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Members here are what I call it now, the small nature of the I.S.U.P.K here in Jamaica. Even though we're small, we're big. Rest assured. But him probably look on it like say, yo, so them man don't work me time. But trust me, Muta, I better you answer with now than wait till the movement grow. Them time they have a serious problem. Not with we, you have a problem with your own people. You understand? All right, so we're going to jump straight into it. Zane? All right, so this is the Library of Congress website. You understand? All right, if you're over on YouTube, you will be able to see what I'm about to show you. See, government website. You understand? And it shows the map of West Africa where, you know what I mean, they took slaves from. You know what I mean? And on the west coast of Africa, they call it Negroland. So what you can do, you can go at loc.gov, which proves that this is a government website. You know what I mean? Go and look at it before them take it down, because whenever information like this come about, them usually take it down. See? So LOC, Library of Congress.gov, see? And type in their search bar, Negroland. And then you will see a map. You understand? And this map is so, you know what I mean, telling. When you scroll in on the map, you're going to see the Kingdom of Judah. Let me make sure those on YouTube are seeing this. Right. Kingdom of Judah. Remember, we told you that the Jews were in Africa. The Africans were not the ones that were sold into slavery. We beat this in our people's head time and time again, but we sound strange. We sound like we are singing, you know what I mean, a strange song. But we know what we are saying. We know what we are saying. No? You understand? We are telling them, say, no, man, listen. The Africans and we are not the same people. They know that. The reason why you don't know that is because of slavery. You understand? You did not come over here with clothes. You did not even come over here with hair by your head. Your culture was taken away from you. Of course, those that came over here, the first ones, knew who they were. You understand? At this time, the reason, all right, let me just make you know. The reason why we end up in Africa is because we break the Most High law. So we know that we were Jews, but we were not practicing Judaism. You know what I mean? And we should have said Judaism because that is a religious aspect of it, but we weren't following the Torah. Of course, our thing is not a religion. See? We weren't following the Torah and the Tanakh. You understand? We weren't following the laws of the Most High. You understand? While in Africa, we went off into Islam. You understand? We went off into them Bugu Yaga and them Guzu Guzu. We have followed everything because guess what? We disobedient to the Most High. But we knew who we were. We knew that, yeah, we are the Jews. See, we're going to show you how the Jews ended up in Africa. You understand? So we tell the people, them say, look, listen, the Africans are not our people. You know what I mean? You see, for me, it's easy to decipher that, because all me have to do is look on an African and look on a person here in Jamaica and say, see there, we don't look nothing like them, but it's not so easy for everybody. You understand? Some people are going to say, well, them black, we black, same black. No, Bridging, you have people over India who dark skin look like Nubians. You don't consider them black, you consider them Indians. So it's not a color issue. You have Chinese people with dark skin. You have Mexicans are our brothers doing it, but you have Mexicans that are dark skin. So it's not a skin tone thing. You understand? It's who you descend from. Everybody is organized according to the tribe that you are from. And our tribe is Yashar Allah from the nation of Israel. You know what I mean? Of course, that is broken down into different 12 tribes: Benjamin, Levi, Judah, Naphtali. You know what I mean? Not by months, but by bloodline, by who your father is, the man where have sex with your foremother. That is how it's determined. You understand? Benjamin was our forefather. His father was Israel or Yashar Allah. Them had a lineage they will come through, and that lineage was promised the fat of the earth. Well, not the fat of the earth, you know what I mean? I'm going to say it in a better way. Was at a covenant with the Most High that they would rule the earth. You understand? All right, so this is what we are looking on right now, is where Jews settled in Africa. You know what I mean? And again, before our brothers say, well, no, you are wrong. Africa is Israel. No history no support that. That is just, you know what I mean? That is just madness. That is just people who wants to make Ethiopia, you know what I mean, into the land of Israel because of Haile Selassie, and you know what I mean? But we are going to show you that Haile Selassie is not no, you know what I mean, Israelite. You understand? All right, so watch this now. We are going to show you how the Israelites or the Jews ended up in Africa. All right, before we do that though, all of West Africa is where the Israelites settled. Not just that small plot of land that them call the Kingdom of Judah. See, notice on this map it says slave coast, which means this is one of the main coasts that they took slaves from. So, you know what I mean? Jews were being sold into slavery. How were they able to do that? With the help of the Africans, of course. You know what I mean? The Africans, you know what I mean? At this time, guns were just coming in. We were fighting with swords and spears. You know what I mean? We were warriors. You know, and that is the reason why we were able to salvage the west coast of Africa for ourselves. We were warriors. We are strong people. You see it in the sport. You see it in every department. We're stronger than the Africans, them, no doubt. See? However, the Africans, them, make a deal with the white man, and the white man who kick us out of Jerusalem. Never read that right now, by the way. Gave the Africans the tools to fight us, and those tools were the musket guns. You know, them big broad gun there with fire gunpowder. You understand? So that is the tool that the Africans use to overthrow us. You understand? We never have them something there with the white man, because he was blessed with a sword, like what the Bible says. He created those, you know what I mean, modern weapons, supplied it to the Africans, just like NATO and them supply Ukraine today. You understand? And they were able to get us out of their land. Good riddance, because they wanted back the land that we stole from them. We fled from our land, came into Africa. You understand? And took over lands. Kill a lot of them. Of course, we weren't met with greetings, so we had to fight. Kill a lot of them, set up kingdoms in Africa. Mansa Musa is one of such Israelites, who's the richest man with them record in our history. Of course, he was not richer than Solomon. See? But yeah, he was an Israelite as well. You know what I mean? Africans were not pleased. They wanted us out of their land. You see? And that is how we got sold into slavery. All right, so watch this now. This is the book, From Babylon to Timbuktu. This tells you how the Jews ended up into slavery. See? So this is From Babylon to Timbuktu, page 84, with the second paragraph. You know what I mean? Can get this book, or better yet, come to the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I mean? We introduce you to books that bring out the truth. You understand? Yeah, man. And the main book that we work off of, you know what I mean? We have never gone wrong by using this book, is the Bible, which is not a book, but the records of the children of Israel. You understand? All right, so it says, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. So in 65 BC, right, our kingdom was captured. We were in captivity, are paying tribute to the Romans. This was before, BC mean before Christ. You understand? So now, by the time Jesus or Yahawashi Mashiach, which is a black man, came on the scene, talking about the New Testament for those who might be in the Christian church and know about the Bible. See, the Romans were ruling over us. That's why the Roman army is who killed Christ, which we know about that. They were the one that nailed him on the cross and kill him, which is a lynching. You understand? So by 65 BC, before Christ was born, they had already taken over Jerusalem. So when Christ said, look, I come to save my people, it was because of the Romans. Romans take over Jerusalem. So he said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He has come to be a savior unto his people. Me a paraphrasing. That is the reason why you have a term named salvation and save. But the Christian church don't know what it really means. It means literally save my people from them people here, which was white people, the Romans, right? All right, pretty this now. See? In 70 AD now, so 70 years after Christ's death. So that is a span of 135 years in between now. See? So them take over Jerusalem 135 years prior to when we are going to read. No. See? General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state. So they took over our country, and 135 years later, them put an end to our country. Them destroyed completely. Which is just like the white man. You understand? Let me continue reading. See? With great slaughter. So them slaughter we brethren. See? During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people, talking about the Israelites, which I will show you. See? During the period from Pompey to Julius, Pompey who took over Jerusalem from 70 AD before Christ born, and Julius, you know what I mean? See? It has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. You understand? So them invade Jerusalem, you understand? And from them time there to the point where it say, you know what I mean? They destroyed our kingdom, over 1 million of us fled into Africa, which is way more than that. You know what I mean? Way more than that. Then, many of us even before that had lived in different lands because, you know what I mean? By this time, Jerusalem was, you know what I mean, a shadow of its former self. You understand? But, you know what I mean? And many of us did not listen because Christ told us to flee into Africa. He said, when you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, may I paraphrase, many of you might know the scripture, flee into the mountains. See, many of us listened, some of us didn't. Some of us fled into Europe. You understand? But eventually was kicked out of Europe into Africa, and some of us was directly sent to Jamaica and the islands. I will show you that as well. You understand? Let me continue reading. So it says, during the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. So we were fleeing from Roman persecution, white people, seeing, which makes sense as to why we would flee into Africa. You understand? Because we done black already. We fled amongst other black people, dark-skinned people, to camouflage amongst them, knowing that we were fleeing from white people. If the Jews were white, fleeing to Africa wouldn't make any sense. You understand? Let me continue reading. So it's a fleeing Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. Let me read that again. Because enough of no hear that part of history, you know. See, enough of our people don't even know that the people in the Bible black. You understand? Listen this again. The slave markets were full of black, B-L-A-C-K, Jewish slaves. Are those black Jews? Are the Jews? Because, you know what I mean, to say black Jews, you know what I mean, don't make no sense because the Jews are black. You know what I mean? So this is how we ended up in Africa. You know what I mean? During throughout a dispensation of time, millions of us ended up in Africa. And we were living good. And we were fighting the Africans, them, those people with the big ring on them lip and the stretched out necks. You know what I mean? We were killing them. We were fighting them. We were living good. We were gathering gold. We were being prosperous. We weren't those people. Those weren't our people. We were excelling above them. They never liked that. We were more civilized. We wear clothes. We never walk up and down naked like them. That would be a shame for your Israelite. You understand? We not show our nakedness. We clean, we wash. We not eat certain foods. We not eat pork. Well, some of us went off and eat madness. You know what I mean? But for the most part, our culture wasn't like the Africans. When we say the African, them catch bush meat, you know what I mean? Eat monkey, gorilla, everything. We never stay so, Bridget. We did more organized. We build colleges. You understand? We build cities in Africa. Meanwhile, these mud huts, you know what I mean? Alien-looking bastards. Never like it. We understand we in our own land, but we are survivors. We have to survive. See, we in a Jamaica now, we have to survive. You know what I mean? Babylon no like it, but we have to survive. You understand? Africans never like it. So guess what them do? Team up with the white man. Get these people out of our country. You know what I mean? It's a 2-for-1 deal. They make money, get gun, you know what I mean, and get them enemies out of them land. You know what I mean? We are the people who were sold by the Africans, though. That's why when we say, stop loving these Africans. And that's why we say, don't be surprised when you see the Africans, them deal with you like, you know what I mean, with disrespect, because they know who you are. The love what you have for them, them not have the love there for you. Them know who you are, is you don't know who you are. And leaders like Muta Baruka and them and this and that, them, me not say them a fool, you know. Them just don't want to accept the truth that we are not Africans. It's like shallow thinking. We come from Africa, we must be Africans. By that logic, you come from Jamaica, you must be Jamaicans. We know say nothing go so. We know say you have Asians here in Jamaica. You understand? People migrate for different reasons. Right now in Ukraine, Poland have a refugee crisis and Europe have a refugee crisis because people are fleeing out of Ukraine, trying to escape the war. It is not far-fetched that people will leave one plot of land and ended up in another plot of land in droves, in masses. Don't be a shallow thinker like these Rastafari people who just want to be left alone, smoke them weed, and don't have to think too hard about anything. You understand? But we in the I.S.U.P.K and a commanding general, and we look into the matter, we investigate and see what really takes place. You understand? We are not no Africans. All right, we're going to show you some more proofs, you know what I mean, that we are not Africans. Some more books. Remember, if you click up the screen, share this live around, share it to your Rastafari brethren. Zin? All right? All right, so pray this now. This is from a book, Valley of Dry Bones. You know what I mean? And it says, King John II of Portugal deported many of its Judeans. Who are the Judeans? All right, the word Judea come from Judah. It is the land in Israel that the Jews resided. You understand? Or the Judites resided. Of course, the word Jew also come from Judah. See? So King John II of Portugal deported many of his Judeans, the Jews, see, to West Africa, Angola. You understand? So remember when I tell you, say, no, we never fled into Africa. Somehow we fled to Europe. Well, Portugal is one of those European countries. Spain, Italy, all over Europe. Seeing England, seeing which we name the land England. We name the land England. Seeing King James was the king of England. He was a black man. Don't make nobody fool him. Seeing? And many settled in the West Indies. Right. So he deported a lot of Jews to Africa and sent some to the West Indies. You understand? Not everybody who you see over here come from the slave trade. Some of them was just fling over here as prisoners of war. Them, you know what I mean? There was a war in Scotland. We forgot what them call it. We'll bring that out. Then what them name it? The Covenanters War, where enough of us who are here in Jamaica are prisoners of that war. We got defeated and them sent we got Jamaica. The Covenanters, because we are a covenant with the Most High. So we call ourselves the Covenanters, knowing that we were Israelites. Some those were sent directly to Jamaica as prisoners of war, not slaves. Well, eventually to serve slavery, but you know what I mean? They weren't from Africa. You understand? These are things that enough people don't know to bring out. People just love shallow information. Say, yeah, we're black, we're most Africans. No, brother, you can't think so. That means the Indians over India are Africans too. And then they might say, well, everybody come from Africa, you know. Yeah, but Africans divided up in tribes. And the world is divided up in tribes, and these people don't consider them the same people. Not care if we all have one origin. Then we don't consider ourselves the same people, and that is what causes war between nations. So don't love up Africa thinking that if you go to Africa, they are going to welcome you with open arms because, we all come from one source. No. You eat up them resource, them while you're out of them land. Just, you know what I mean? I just common sense, you know. You understand? Let me sidetrack a little bit still. See? So when you hear them black conscious leaders and them African lovers and them Rastafari leaders talk about Africa, the motherland, and Africa. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. All right, we're back on stream. Zin? All right, so yeah. Everybody talking about go back to Africa and go back where? Go on with your resource or you will lose it. Like how the people them in a Sashamani lost their resource when them follow the Rastafari movement, went to Sashamani, build up schools, restaurants, you know what I mean? Went over there 2,000 strong. And now not even 200 no left over there. You know what I mean? Them treat them like the Amish because the Ethiopians them never loved them. They were separated from the Ethiopians because the Ethiopians did not love them. You know what I mean? They weren't able to find jobs. They weren't able to get citizenship. Nothing at all because the Ethiopians, you know what I mean? Just like white people deal with black people with prejudice. That is how the Ethiopians deal with Israelites who listen to the Rastafari music, the reggae music, which is not Rasta music, it's Israelite music. But because them praise Selassie night, then it come like them give it over to the Rastafarians, them and give it over to Africa. Them listen to the music, go over to Ethiopia, and now them lose them resource. They have been dispersed. And guess who have control the whole of that? Ethiopians. And just have to take it. You understand? All right. So, what we are going to do here now, let me finish read this. Look here. King John II of Portugal deported many of his Judeans or his Jews to West Africa, and many settled in the West Indies. Listen to this carefully. John Bigelow, who went to Jamaica in 1850, this was after slavery was so-called abolished. See? So John Bigelow, who went to Jamaica, white man, see? A devil, him come to Jamaica, see? In 1850, and saw the offsprings of these Judeans. So him come to Jamaica, and when him look around, he must say, these are Judeans. Surely these are not Africans. Surely these are not the Egyptians, the Ethiopians. These are not the Canaanites, and these are not the what the next one? The Libyans. These are Judeans. And him say, they are black. Why? Why would I say something like that? Because at that time, the fake Jew would be going around saying that he is the Jew. You understand? But come to find out, Jews are really black people. At this time, I guess we had some semblance of our culture left, especially the ones who were deported from Portugal, who did not go through the slave trade. They would have known, say them are Jews. You understand? So we have proof of this. This is, of course, we know that this is common knowledge now, that we are the Jews. You know what I mean? Everybody and their mother know that. No, you see? But you can imagine commanding General YAHANNA for years, for about 40 years, upon the streets. I try to convince our people, say, no, we are not the Africans, we are the Jews. You know what I mean? And people are saying, we are Africans and I deal, you know what I mean, and I deal with the UPK like we don't know what we are talking about. And come to find out in 2 days' time, everybody and their mother know. But that is Bible prophecy. You know what I mean? Let me paraphrase. In the land that it was said that ye are not my people, there shall it be said that ye are the children of the living God. That is prophecy. Which land? Over here saying I West, man. We serve slavery and was called Negroes, black, Zane, everything but the children of Israel. All right. All right, big up to the brothers, them a comment. Yeah, man, big up, big up. All right, let me just jump to another source. You know what I mean? We have a whole heap of sources, you know. See? Let me jump to another one. All right, so this the government in Majorca, which is in Spain, sought to protect its Jews. Why? Because many of us was also in Spain. See? Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Andre. Yeah, man. See? The government in Majorca sought to protect its Jews. He evacuated them from the villages into the capital at the first sign of trouble, because at that time we were being persecuted. But we bring a lot of, you know what I mean? We bring a lot of, what I call it now, benefit to Spain at that time, because what? We were resourceful people. Look on we over here in Jamaica, we're full of culture, we're full of, you know what I mean? We just have everything that makes a great people. So, same like how we made America great through our hard work and labor. These Spain and Europe was profiting off of that. So none of them was glad that we were there. You understand? It wasn't a black and white thing yet. Zane? Let me continue reading. Into the capital at the first sign of trouble, and sheltered them in the fortresses there when more radical measures seemed necessary. In the maritime community, evacuation to North Africa. Listen again. In that maritime community, evacuation to North Africa was a readily available recourse. So when them can't do no better, when them can't protect, you know what I mean, the Jews that were beneficial to Spain at this time, probably the rich of our people, they had to just ship them to Africa. Can't protect them no more. You know what I mean? Persecution, the Catholic Church, which is the Romans. You understand? They were the ones doing the persecution. You understand? Trying to eradicate our, you know what I mean, our existence off of the earth. See? And then them say, all right, North Africa. Send we to Africa. Why? So that we could hide amongst the Africans. You understand? All right. Let me see. All right. Here's another one. This is oh, and by the way, this is from the book Lost Tribes and the Promised Lands. In the rioters set fire to the gate of the Jewish quarters, killing many of its inhabitants, forcing many more to the baptismal front. You know what I mean? Forcing us to baptize under them Christianity. That was an abomination to us. But many of us was, you know what I mean, was threatened with death if we did not baptize under them Roman Catholic religion. See? Let me continue reading. And sold some of the women and children into slavery in North Africa. You understand? So we just list out some different ways in which, and there are many more, ways in which we ended up in Africa. So when you look at this government website now, with the map of the land of the kingdom of Judah, see, in West Africa, where the slave ports were, it is not because Israel is in Africa. No, no such thing. It is because Israel fled into Africa, were kicked out of Europe into Africa, and also migrated to Africa, are sold into slavery into Africa. That is the reason why you have this. You understand? And we settled on the west coast of Africa, and the transatlantic slave trade consists of, you know what I mean, Jews being sold over the west into slavery with the help of the Africans and the white man and the Arabs. You understand? There are so many nations that are involved in our slavery. You would be so surprised. You know what I mean? So you see we come out and we talk out against certain nations. You understand? We don't just get up and we are not preaching hate. We are a love group, you know. We are not the hate group. You know what I mean? The white man, the Christian church, you know what I mean, that persecuted our people. They are the hate group. They are the ones that sold us into slavery. You understand? It was the Christian church who was the mindset behind our slavery. They are the hate group. When we say we must love our people and our people only, that is not hate, that is love. You understand? So we were in West Africa. The transatlantic slave trade consists of Jews, not Africans. You understand? And I think I should give you the difference between who was sold into slavery. You know what I mean? All right, so the Jewish man, Zin, him have a saying where him say, anybody that speak out against anything that he does, they are anti-Semitic. All right, that word Semitic comes from the word Shem, which the real term would be anti-Shemitic. Of course, the Jewish man is not the only Shemite. We are Shemites because we come from Shem. See? No, the Africans don't come from Shem. The Africans come from Am. And we're going to show you who are the Africans. You understand? See? All right, so this is the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary. You understand? And it says, Am, the youngest son of Noah, or Cam. You know what I mean? Hebrew, which means hot. You understand why? Because they are so black that the world said they must be hot because they are so black. Ham, Cam. You understand? So it said the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. You understand? Listen. He became the progenitor of the dark races. So Am was the father. Progenitor really mean like the father of the dark races. So now Rastas might say, see it. The dark races all come from Am. We are all Amites. No, listen. Not the Negroes. You understand? So it's the progeny of the dark races, but not the Negroes. Why say not the Negroes? Because the Negroes did not come from Ham. They come from Shem. In the transatlantic slave trade, they did not call us Africans. They call us Negroes. That's why here on the map, it says Negro land. You understand? We need to know, you know what I mean, more about why them use them term there. You understand? The reason why them use Negro land is to say these are not the Africans. The Africans don't live here. These are Negroes. These are Jews. You understand? Of course, they call Christ's disciples niggers, which Negro, which mean black, is what, you know what I mean, that word come from. See? So it's not the Negroes, but who are the Hamites? But the Egyptians. The Egyptians are Hamites. We know that the Egyptians are some dark-skinned people, not the modern-day Egyptian that you see today, which are just, you know what I mean, Alexander the Freak, or Alexander the Greek children, are, you know what I mean, when he invaded, you know what I mean, Egypt, and his soldiers went on a raping rampage. See? Those are not the real Egyptians. The real Egyptians are dark-skinned, like the Ethiopians, like the real Ethiopians, because many of those people in Ethiopia, they are not even the real Ethiopians. Selassie, I don't think Selassie is a real Ethiopian, but that is my opinion. See? He more look like a Greek baby. You understand? Anyway, so you have the Egyptians. Who else? So you have the Egyptians, then you have the Ethiopians. These are the children of Ham. See? The Libyans, which we know the Libyans is a black country. Dark-skinned people almost like the Ethiopians and the Nubians and them. You know what I mean? See? And the Canaanites. You know what I mean? The same people in the Bible. You know what I mean? They are recorded in history. You know what I mean? So when we tell you say the Bible is not a religious book, you know, we want to hear, no man. We don't want to say, yo, you read from the white man book and that is a fairy tale book. Guess what? History use this book for validate peoples and landmass and everything. You understand? This book was written by your people and they took good records. That's why it's still relevant today. Which book you know relevant for over what? More than 1,000 years? Which set of records you know stand this test of time? You know what I mean? They might say, well, the metanetta, which nobody know how to interpret the metanetta and all of them things they don't in Egypt. You know what I mean? It's funny that all these Egyptians, you know what I mean, love to praise Egypt and nobody read the metanetta. But we speak Hebrew. Isn't that strange? We understand Hebrew and we teach Hebrew, but nobody's teaching the metanetta. You know, she says, you know what I mean, it's a romanticized, you know what I mean, romanticism that take place with these African countries. You know what I mean? Romanticizing, not facts. You understand? Just loving that Egypt have pyramids that we made while we were in slavery in Egypt. We made the pyramids. The same black people were there in Jamaica and North America. We made the pyramids in Egypt. The Egyptians, them never make it. We make them. You understand? So we don't need to go to Africa to be great. We great at them exploit our greatness. We done great. We're so great that we're over here in poverty. And how are we surviving? We're poor, you know, we are descendants of slaves, you know. How are we so resourceful and skillful to still be surviving? Look on the oppression where we face. Or if the Africans went through what we went through, they would go extinct. You understand what I talk about? Zane? All right, so it's these are the Hamites, which it's the Egyptian, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. Who are those? Africans. Africans, Egyptians, Africans, Ethiopian, Africans, Libyans, Africans, Canaanites. You might have not known, but we are telling you now, Africans. You understand? The South Africans are the Canaanites. Different tribe of Ham or Cam. You understand? These are those people We are not those people. We are not them. See? Yeah, man, enough no like the facts, man. All right. And we bring out the information, you know. See? And we are wait for the Rastafari community come and say, look, a lie will not tell. Here is the information to prove that a lie will not tell. And nobody has called a number yet and arranged a debate. Nobody. Why? Wagwan. Wagwan. Maybe somebody need to reach out to them and say, yo, look, somebody over there is saying that, you know what I mean, they need to have a discussion with you pertaining to what you believe. You understand? Maybe we need to share it to the Rastafari brethren and to the Rastafari pages and make them know, say, look, your religion is being questioned. Do you have the facts to come and defend it? You understand? All right, so we're going to come off of this now. We're done with the Negro land thing now. See? Of course, if you know you know what I mean, you can watch your classes on YouTube, Facebook. You understand? Now we are keeping classes on TikTok. Hopefully we can go up on Instagram soon. See? And you can come to class in person if you want to. Just call a number. You know what I mean? We break down the whole of this. So I say, now we are going to jump over to, you know what I mean, Marcus Garvey and the whole Rastafari movement. See, click up the screen, share it around the class. See? All right, so this video talk about when Selassie was invaded, or Ethiopia was invaded, you know what I mean, by when Ethiopia was invaded by the Italians. Let me know if the audio good on YouTube. See? So now let me play this video.
To a time when the emperor first became a country of all Africa. Many of Trinity now remember when the last and most brutal chapter of the European scramble for Africa began. 1935, Italy claimed Ethiopia and Mussolini's troops invaded.
Black men were bugle call, come on, the drums are beating and the bugle call, come on, don't mind what the Mussolini say, let us march in battle array, and take the gun in our hand and defend the Ethiopian war, declare.
At the League of Nations in Geneva, the emperor went to plead Ethiopia's just cause. The League, fearful of a shadow which would turn into the Second World War, did nothing. Shamefully, the great powers left Ethiopia to Mussolini and the emperor to lonely exile in England.
I call upon the first delegate of Ethiopia.
Nowhere, I think, was the emperor's tragedy felt more deeply than among the black people of the West, the slave descendants in North America and the Caribbean. Black consciousness had dawned in Jazz Age Harlem, and Africa fermented in the exiles' hearts. Many supported a black activist called Marcus Garvey, and when he demanded Africa for the Africans and repatriation to the homeland, they saw Ethiopia as a special symbol of the whole continent. Until now, it alone had not been seized by white Europeans. Such people volunteered to fight for Haile Selassie, although only a handful managed to go, or they organized to send relief.
Black Americans rallied towards the cause, and black Jamaicans likewise. And so the organization was formed in New York, 105th One Lennox Avenue, New York, and as Ethiopian Welfare Federation Incorporated. Those people gave up monies, medicine, clothing, what have you, and sent into Haile Selassie
mute the mic. Oh, yeah, so. Yeah, so it basically I tell you, say, yo, the prophecy that started it all. Right? Like I brought out before, you know what I mean? Like how I.S.U.P.K and a commanding general and I brought out. You know what I mean? Rastafariism, was started all because of a saying that Marcus Garvey had. And this is the saying. Marcus Garvey and the vision of Africa, and him said, look to Africa when a black king shall be crowned, for the day of deliverance is near. This was the prophecy that started it all. You know what I mean? If you want to know how Rastafariism started, this one saying by Selassie. You understand? Nothing else. There was no people over Africa calling themselves Rasta. Ras was, you know what I mean, the title of the monarch over there in Ethiopia. It wasn't a religion. There was no other place on earth that people were practicing Rastafariism. It was after Marcus Garvey accumulated a group of following here in Jamaica, and they were following his sayings that these same followers thought his saying was talking about Selassie. You understand? Let me read this. So it said the prophecy was Marcus Garvey's. Garvey was a Jamaican activist who campaigned for political and social change on an island that had been an important center for slavery. After the slave trade was abolished in 1833, which is really, and Abraham Lincoln Emancipation Proclamation free all persons held as slaves, life did not improve dramatically for ex-slaves, their children, and successive generations of black people. It is unclear whether the black king Marcus Garvey had referred to was an actual person. And that is a fair statement because Marcus Garvey was just saying that, yo, one day Africa are going to rise up. Basically what he must say. King are going to come out of Africa. Like how you have king in Britain, king are going to come out of Africa. But he wasn't specifically talking, you know what I mean? He wasn't specifically saying that in a religious sense. He was just saying Africa will do good one day. Africa won't be so poor one day. Africans will have kings one day, thinking that we were Africans too. Remember, you know, him never know, so we are not Africans, you know. But him limited amount of knowledge about who we were, he must say one day we are going to have kings too, great kings. But his followers here in Jamaica made it out to be a religious thing. And it's a thing about we too, because we are the people that have a covenant with the Most High. We always look for, you know what I mean, a savior in a spiritual sense. So naturally we are going to do that. Naturally we are going to misinterpret, you know what I mean, a logical man to be talking about something that is religious. You understand? And his members took it upon themselves to start worship Selassie, when Marcus Garvey wasn't even talking about Selassie. You understand? However, Marcus Garvey, when he found out about Selassie, he said, that is a good move, a king. There, I said it. There, just like I said, a king would come from, of course, you know what I mean? What I call it now? Me act like, Marcus Garvey would have probably act. And say, yo, you know what I mean? See, there, a king a come from Africa, like what I say. Marcus Garvey never consider him no God. Marcus Garvey, as I say, yeah, Africa make progress like I hoped. See, but groups of people here in Jamaica started to worship Selassie like him a God. But Marcus Garvey never depend that. See? All right. Let me jump to another article. You see, we'll eat more in that article, you know. But we're not going to read the whole of that. See? We're not going to read the whole of that. We have a whole heap of article for go through. See? 1 second. All right. So now, after the Mussolini invasion now, see? Selassie never meet Marcus Garvey expectations. Again, remember, Selassie never seemed like no God like the Rasta them here, no. Like his farmer followers them who were here. him never view him like God. Him just view him like a king. But when him see Selassie make the move where he make him say, but wait, no king no so weak, brother. And this is what Marcus Garvey said. Marcus Garvey was unimpressed after he fled Ethiopia in 1936 following the invasion of Benito Mussolini's troops a year earlier, describing Haile Selassie as a coward and calling him out for the terrors of slavery. So now Marcus Garvey doing research and find out, say, oh, Ethiopia sell slave. And burn him out, say, I want slave trader. Marcus Garvey start do the maths and find out more about Mesopotamia or Abyssinia, which is Ethiopia, and find out, say, okay, they are slave traders. And how is he behaving so coward? And Marcus Garvey say, yo, that money I want to waste, man. Money I want to eat that. But by that time, people here in Jamaica worship him like God. And we are going to show you the man behind this worshiping Selassie as God, that is Leonard Howell. We are going to get to that. See? We are going to get to that. And we are going to tell you where enough of him culture, in customs them come from. Enough of him customs them don't come from no Africa, nothing. Of course, we are not Africans. We have to reiterate that a million different times. See? But enough of that custom that Rasta practice today is not even an African custom. Leonard Howell get it from somewhere else. But the Rastafari community now tell you this. You know what I mean? All right. So after that now, Selassie, 1942, which is that is 6 years later, Selassie abolished slavery. But slave trading has been a part of Ethiopia for thousands of years. You understand? All right, let me jump to another article. See? Remember to tap up the screen. You understand? Remember to share around the live on YouTube if you have questions, if you have comments. You know what I mean? You can just leave it. If you have questions and comments on TikTok as well, you can just leave it. You know what I mean? We're there to answer on the questions as well. You understand? All right, so this is a part of Marcus Garvey's own, you know what I mean, editorial. And him say, every Negro ashamed. Him say, every Negro who is proud of his race must be ashamed of the way in which Haile Selassie surrendered himself to the white wolves of Europe. Because Marcus Garvey at this time never depend on Europe this and Europe that. Him consider them slave masters. But Selassie never considered them slave masters. As a matter of fact, Selassie was allies with them. You know what I mean? Case and point too. You know what I mean? The Rastafari community like to burn out Queen Elizabeth. We burn her out to the fullest. See? But the Rastafari community shouldn't burn her out. Why? Because your God, Haile Selassie, love Queen Elizabeth. You understand? Was good friends with Queen Elizabeth. Brought her gifts and all them things there. And fled to Britain for support to fight another oppressor. You understand? Let me continue reading. These statements may be considered very severe, and in fact, they are. We could have been otherwise apologetic and sympathetic. But that would have been only if we were dealing with a Coptic priest or a religious monk, and not an emperor who held and presided over the political trust of 12 million people of his own country and the political destiny of the entire Negro race. Because at this time, Marcus Garvey thought all of Africa was Negroes. See? And him say, look how Ethiopian emperor move like a little coward. He must shame the entire Negro race. You understand? And Marcus Garvey burn him out like a little waste man. So how did we end up serving Selassie as God? When the man who them claim tell them to worship Selassie did not even respect him. How that? How that happened? That should go on, man, but that's why we there now. We there here for you know what I mean, clear the air, for clean up all the mess. For me to know say, look, for years, you have been following Rastafariism, smoking weed, doing everything that Rastafariism does. But guess what? You have been worshipping Selassie based off a lie. And we are going to bring out in other classes that Selassie is not even half the man that you think he is. Selassie was a wicked, Selassie was a wicked opportunist. You know what I mean? We call it ambitious, greedy tyrant. You understand? Selassie wasn't a noble person, you know, Virgin. Selassie was wicked. You understand? Salakia. Zane, let me continue reading. 1 second. Zane, this little misguided emperor, this is what Marcus Garvey called Selassie. This little misguided emperor. So that is like how you talk to some little pissing tail person like we respect. Man said this little misguided emperor. This is Marcus Garvey talking, you know. All right. Junior Reed say, remember he was not the oldest son. All right. Let me know what you're talking about. All right. Masonry for Jamaica say, after him leave England, him keep party while people did a dead in a in place. Right, you're correct. You understand that go on for real. The Rastafari community want to deny that. But that go on for real. Let me check the internet. You know what I mean? Because the internet I move poorly. You understand? Yeah, man, that go on for real and Masonry for Jamaica. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, that is what took place. You understand? They love to skip and dance around that as if, you know what I mean? All right. Let me know if you not hear me because the internet kind of unstable. See? Yeah, man, the Rastafari community like to skip and dance around the fact that Selassie, you know what I mean, invited all of the Western leaders them to his birthday party, another ball, you know what I mean, millions of dollars spent while his country was in famine, Bridget, which eventually led to an uprising and he was killed by his own people. You understand? All right, so Marcus Garvey said, this little misguided emperor could not realize that he held in his hand the political trust of hundreds of millions of Negroes of the world, men and women who were looking up towards the firm establishment of political sovereignty, and that Ethiopia, Liberia, and Haiti were to them prize of glory to be perpetuated. Let me check the internet. See? This is Marcus Garvey about Selassie. See? But guess what the Rastafari community do? Them put Marcus Garvey as the prophet of Rastafariism. Oh, that if Islam, see? If Islam, listen to this. If Islam prophet, which is Muhammad, was burning out Allah, would Muslims serve Allah? No. They would have said the prophet said, you know what I mean, this man is a misguided, you know what I mean, emperor, so we not follow him, but leave it to the children of Israel. When we stuck in a brainwash and, you know what I mean, when we stuck in a religion, in a virgin, it's hard to get way out, you know, especially when the religion come with smoking weed, you know. Zane, especially when the religion come with a good, you know what I mean, nice, high-grade ganja spliff. It's hard to get them out of it. Difficult. No matter how much facts you show them. Zane, and books, and records, and articles from back in the days. You can't get them out of it. But I know everybody you can't get out of it. You know, you have brothers and sisters in the Rastafari community that are sincerely trying to do the right thing. Zane, and when them find out what go on, them are going left out of the Rastafari community. See them like, oh, there are people leaving out of the Christian church. You know what I mean? Because them find out, say, what the Christian church have been teaching is a lie. We are the children of Israel. We are the people in the book. There's no religion to the thing. It's just you are an Israelite, keep these laws. Done. You're an Israelite, keep these laws, because these laws were given to Israel. You understand? There's no mysticism around it and no, you know what I mean, hallelujah, tambourine shaking. You're born an Israelite. You're bounded by the covenant of your forefathers to keep these laws. You know what I mean? All right, so Swar said, Rasta shouldn't praise Selassie. You're right, I'm going to go further. Rasta shouldn't even be Rasta. Because Rasta come from the term Rastafari, which is Selassie's title and name. So them should even be Rasta. They are Israelites. They are Yashar Allah. You understand? That is who they are by blood. You understand? There's no religion in the thing. Religion is idolatry, and the Most High punish us for idolatry. You understand? All right, what me there? Zine. All right, so him say, like Liberia and Haiti were to them prize of glory to be perpetuated and strengthened in the maintenance of the dignity of the black race, that other men have claimed to be incompetent. So the man called Selassie incompetent, saying inferior and unworthy, which every black man must disprove. You understand? So if the prophet of Rastafariism say you must disprove Selassie, why aren't the Rasta here in Jamaica disproving Selassie? You should listen to the prophet of God, right? Since you call him prophet of God, which we know that Marcus Garvey is not a prophet. We know that. But since you call him a prophet, we in the I.S.U.P.K, we listen to the real prophets. You understand? Commanding General YAHANNA is a prophet. You understand? We listen to the prophets that wrote about, you know what I mean? We listen to Isaiah, we listen to Jeremiah, we listen to Amos, we listen to all the prophets that are in the scriptures, our scriptures, our records. So if you consider Haile Selassie as being a Marcus Garvey as being a prophet, why aren't you listening to the prophet when him tell you that you should disprove Haile Selassie? Clearly the prophet does not agree with the God. And this is a conundrum. This is the only religion that is set up like this. That's why we tell you, say, Rastafariism is the most, you know what I mean? Is the most contrary religion in the world. Contrary. You understand? It's contrary and it's madness. You know what I mean? And judge it by its fruit. What has the Rastafari community produced? Some people are going to say good reggae music. Well, you can't attribute that to Rastafariism. It is Israelites who create reggae music. You don't have to be a Rasta to create reggae. You know what I mean? You can just build a reggae beat and build a reggae song. It's easy. You understand? So what is the fruits of the Rastafariism? Let me tell you. Misunderstanding the Bible, wearing those dreaded locks on them head, which is not real locks, but dreads because they are so unpleasant and dirty, so them call them dreaded locks. Those are not the locks of Samson in the Bible, which are braids. We're going to pull that now. See? Right now we're going to pull that. See? What is the other fruit of Rastafariism? See? The other fruit of Rastafariism is turning our people into weed addicts, into weed heads. That is the fruit of Rastafariism. The Rastafari community has not liberated black people in any way. Marcus Garvey was at least trying. You understand? Hold on, let me see if I think I should. Yes, right. We soon get there. We soon get to that article. But just for the sake of the locks argument to bring up, we're going to find locks. Saying in the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, because this dictionary gives you the meaning of every word that is in the Bible. The historical meaning. Locks and Samson is biblical. See? It is biblical. So it gives you, all right, so if you even believe that there's some other locks, Well, the locks that the Bible is talking about is in this book. The explanation is in this. See? All right, so let's find it. See? One second. All right, so it's a lock or locks. See, let me find the 1 second. 1 second. Let me find it. All right, so it said, lock, in reference to the ear of the head, locks renders several different Hebrew words. In Numbers 6 and 5, the term indicate the unshorn or disheveled lock of the Nazarite. In Judges, see, meaning you don't cut your ear. See? But you never say if you make it natty up. Listen, the braids, Slakia, the braided locks of Nazarite Samson. Let me read that again. The braided locks of the Nazarite Samson. You understand? It's talking about braiding plait. You understand? I don't know if you hear that, the internet go out a while ago, Let me reiterate that because I realize that the internet go out. Let me check over YouTube. All right, everything good over YouTube, it seems. See? Shalom, sis. You know what I mean? See? Let me read that again. Let's read that again. Listen. This is the locks that Samson have. The Rastafari community like to say that, you know what I mean? Them have them Nazarene vow. That's why them wear them locks, which is not locks, it's dreads. And we're going to show you where that come from as well. That dread that them wear upon them head, which is not locks. We're going to tell you where that come from. See? So this say locks. See? In reference to the ear of the head, locks render several different Hebrew words. In Numbers 6 and 5, the term indicates the unshorn and disheveled locks of the Nazarite. In Judges 16, 13 and 19, the braided locks of the Nazarite Samson. Remember, them say Samson had 7 locks. The Rastafari community love to use this. Samson himself have 7 locks. So you talk about, see me I grow my locks. But Samson did not have dreads. He had braids, braided locks. Not that you have on your head. Not that matted ear, which is unhygienic. And the children of Israel never deal in a no lack of hygiene business. Our thing did have to clean. We comb out our ear. Rasta talk about we not deal with scissors and comb. We, the Israelites, we used to comb out with ears. So we are talk about. We are talk about don't comb. Our ear need combing, grooming. We are talk about. We used to comb it and braid it and form locks. Not natty dread. Locks, which is the locking of one's ear, which means you can unlock it. I will comb it out, wash it, comb it out again, and lock it back. You understand? That is what Samson had. Him have 7 of them. Me more while when we go to the you know what I mean, to the girl that deal with my ear. See, me tell her, say, I 7 more like Samson. Say, give me 7. You know what I mean? I normally beat them so. 3 on the side, 1 at the back. Like Pop Smoke. See, that is locks. Me no know no Rasta we have 7, unless a 7 matted. 7 matted something on him head. You know what I mean? Normally you have 7 of them big old lump upon them head and some little fine one. Not 7. But Samson was very careful on how he was doing his thing. When him check him woman or whichever for lock him ear, him say, give me 7. And she put 7 of them in her head because it was controlled. Nobody can just farm 7 locks in them head. You know what I mean? Accidentally. You gotta have some little locks. Some little fine one round at the back. One big one over here, so. And it looks strange. But the pictorial Bible dictionary says, you know what I mean? Samson had braided locks. Braids, key and roll, like what we wear over here, so. You understand? Braided locks. Not no natty dread. You understand? All right, so let me get back to these articles in. Yeah, man. All right. So we're gonna jump to another article. 1 second. All right, so we're going to show you why Marcus Garvey was so angry with Haile Selassie. You know what I mean? We're going to show you. And we have to bring out these things because guess what go on? A whole heap of fairy tale we learn over here when we come over here. So the Christian church being one of the fairy tales, them, not teaching us the Bible. Then we come learn another fairy tale upon it about Selassie. You know what I mean? And him cutting the orange in 13 pieces. You know what I mean? He's the only man who can cut the orange in 13 pieces. So he's a God. Which is a lie anyway. You understand? Say him take one swing and cut the orange in 13 pieces. Whole heap of fairy tale. Another fairy tale that we learned was that, you know, you have something named Rolling Calf and Duppy and all them other things there. Whole heap of fairy tale we learn over here. See? But we are going to dispel the whole of that. You understand? So this say, early Rastafariism. Hold on. This is that, not this one. So we'll come to that one. That one is very important too. But we'll come to that shortly. See? 1 second. All right. See that? No, hold on. 1 second. Yeah, see that? See? This one say, when Selassie arrived in London on his way to attempt further negotiation for help, which would not be forthcoming from the League of Nations, he spurned Garvey along with other black activists. See? What it mean by to spurn? We will give you the meaning. You understand? Spurn. And I'll show you why I'm spurned, Marcus Garvey. See? It means reject with disdain or contempt. So he rejected Marcus Garvey along with other black leaders with contempt and disdain. Like it's calling him like, who is you? Disrespectfully. You understand when him come to Britain? You understand? See? Then living in Britain. So him come to Britain. See? Marcus Garvey was in Britain. And Marcus Garvey at the time wanted to support, you know what I mean, Haile Selassie, because at this time now, he was going through the whole Mussolini thing. See? And him spurned at it and spurned, you know what I mean, other black leaders who wanted to help. Remember, I played the video and them I say, yo, all of Black America and the West Indies rallied behind Haile Selassie and the Ethiopian cause. This is what Haile Selassie did. Rejected disdain and contemptly the offer from our black leaders who say, look, we want to help you. That is why Marcus Garvey burned him out. He burned him out not solely because of this, because after you disrespect we now, see? You run Ghana Britain to the slave master, you want to little waste, man. That Marcus Garvey I say. You understand? Garvey felt this rejection keenly, and at the same time, he was attracted to the power dynamic at work in the rising fascism of Mussolini and Hitler. While African Americans in the United States, including Garveyites led by the UNIA, New York officers A.L. King in Harlem, rallied to the Ethiopian cause, Garvey began to blast Haile Selassie for his weakness and his black man editorial, criticizing him for his lack of identification with blacks and for turning to white officials who would fail him for help and at the same time praising Mussolini for his forcefulness and manhood. So at this time, Marcus Garvey start even respect Mussolini more than Selassie. So why aren't you worshiping Mussolini? Why aren't the Rastafari community worshiping Mussolini as God? You understand? Why aren't the Rastafari community, you know what I mean, say, praise ye Mussolini, like how them say, praise ye Jah Rastafari? Why them don't do that? Since Marcus Garvey on the prophet. You understand? So Marcus Garvey realized, say, yo, Selassie is a weakling. And Selassie was friend with our oppressors. And he saw us the same way our oppressors saw us. And Marcus Garvey said, oh, that's the pan. All right. You see? All right, let me jump to another article. We have some scripture for read too, you know. See? We have a lot of scripture for read. You know what I mean? All right, so this article now. See? It say early Rastafarianism centered around black power and disposing while white rule, but quickly evolved along peaceful lines. Let me read that again. It's an early Rastafarianism centered around black power. So early Rastafarianism was all about black power, like what Marcus Garvey used to talk about. See? Marcus Garvey was liberating black people, or trying to. Of course, Marcus Garvey did not have the truth. See? But him trying best. See? Wanted to liberate black people, and guess what? Marcus Garvey never believed in a loving white people. And the Rastafari movement did adapt Marcus Garvey, you know what I mean, teaching early out, but them switch up, see? And disposing white rule, but quickly evolved along peaceful lines. So eventually Rastafariism become love one and love all because of Selassie. Loving everybody because Selassie loved the oppressor. You understand? Marcus Garvey never depend that. Marcus Garvey never loved no oppressor. You understand? Marcus Garvey knew that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speak of and can't be trusted. You understand? So, when all right, in other words, the Rastafari community betrayed Marcus Garvey. Or the Rastafari community is as a result of selling out Marcus Garvey. That is what is Rastafariism. Because not only did they switch pan Selassie and pan Marcus Garvey, them change them stance when it come to black power. Them talk about black power, but them start talk about love everybody. Like Chronics now. You know what I mean? All Chronics sing about is love, you know. And this is the trick. And there's a spirit behind these religions, you know. It start off with black power and, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Black liberation, and then it move off into loving everybody. Putting black people back. See? You see that in these reggae artists as well. Chronics come out. You know what I mean? I know nothing for me walk in a room and start a fire. Then when start sing about love, we need love, love. You know? You understand? That is how all of these movements starts. Marcus Garvey would turn in his grave. Marcus Garvey not believe in and loving everybody. And of course, we say Marcus Garvey don't have the truth. Command in general, YAHANNA have the truth. You understand? If you want somebody better than Marcus Garvey, see command in general, YAHANNA. Because command in general, YAHANNA don't love the oppressor. See him like how Marcus Garvey never loved the oppressor. But we know who loved the oppressor, the Rastafari movement. You have a thing here in Jamaica called Rent a Dread. Right now, all of the bubble, all of the Rasta them and the bubble camp them and them, they are tourist attraction. The white man can just walk up in there, take pictures and do interviews or pay them for interviews. And when I say that, you know what I mean? When I say we know of any situation where them pay them, but them always come with them wallets. So obviously, you understand? See? Them are like tourist attraction. Right now you have white Rastafarians. All that. All that. You have Chinese Rasta, white Rasta, Indian Rasta. So I'm a black man something again. No, I love everybody now. It's all about love. It's not about black man no more. It's not about the black woman and child again. you have to check these religious or these religions that, you know what I mean, claim to have the answer for your people, you know. See, you test them by them fruits. And what are their fruits? As I said before, turning our people into weed addicts and loving the oppressor. Selling out Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey don't smoke weed. You understand? Let me continue reading. Garvey words inspired a number of movements, of which Rastafarianism is just one. Yeah, Marcus Garvey teaching eventually branched off into different organizations. Rastafarianism is just one of those children of, you know what I mean, Garvey. But what we are saying, Garvey never loved Haile Selassie. Why you worship him as God? Your father, Marcus Garvey, did not rate Selassie. Why are you praying to Selassie? You understand? Rastafarianism is just one of Marcus Garvey's children. What, as a matter of fact, what the child that he would have bust them ass because them not here, he would have considered them the unruly child. We need some, you know what I mean, some discipline. Because them not here. Let me continue reading. Similarly, the Ethiopian Orthodox, listen to this. This is very important. Listen to this. Then, similarly, the Ethiopian Orthodox Christian Selassie, and we can't emphasize this enough, Selassie was just a Christian. So why aren't you in the Christian church? Why you not go baptize under the blood of Jesus? Let me continue reading. Then, similarly, the Ethiopian Orthodox Christian Selassie, believed by Rastafarians to be the physical representation of God or Jah, was somewhat bemused. The man was bemused, meaning when him find out, say, yo, people actually are worship him as God, him confused, him puzzled. He must say, what me do? For people are call me God. I mean, me worship in the Christian church. Me worship Christian white Jesus. That is what Selassie is. So when him find out, say, you know what I mean, people are worship him as God, him say, what is? Zin, let me continue reading. So he was bemused by the divine status. Him confused. How am I divine? Of course, eventually we know him run with it. Why not? Why wouldn't he run with it? You have a group of people over there that once upon a time, my people would be selling into slavery, calling me God. Why wouldn't you, you know what I mean, accept the fact that you are God? Him work with it and say, look, here is some land over here in Sashamani land. Come cultivate it. Like a real slave master would. And of course, we know what became of those Rastas that went to Sashamani land. You understand? Let me continue reading. Was somewhat bemused by the divine status offered to him, even going so far as to actively deny it. So, you know what I mean? Selassie was bemused by it and him go as far as to deny it. No, I am not God. If Selassie was able to reach out to the Rasta them in that time, he would tell them, say, no, come and baptize under the blood of Jesus. Like, oh, him granddaughter came to Jamaica. Zane, not him granddaughter. No, that wasn't him granddaughter. Him grandson came to Jamaica. And the Ethiopian Moravian Church, I think that is the right name, Zane, in Jamaica, call out the Rastafari community and say, look, see Haile Selassie, grandson here in Jamaica, we need to make you know that Haile Selassie is not a Rasta, he's a Christian. We are the church that that Haile Selassie used to worship in. But we're not talk about. about him, about this Rasta and calling him a God. He was just a good servant of Jesus, white Jesus. Them call out the Rastafari community. But of course, picture tech, there is Rastas beating Jump for Selassie grandson. You know what I mean? Sizzla Kalonji out there taking picture with him as if, you know what I mean, he's now some kind of prophet, you know what I mean, in place of, you know what I mean, Marcus Garvey. When the whole Rastafari religion is just madness, brethren. And let me sidetrack a little bit as well. We realize these Rastafarians know that we are the Israelites, you know. But after years of making millions of dollars being Rasta, you know what I mean? Many of you are reluctant to turn away from the Rastafari religion, even if you know that it is madness because of the money and the image that you got out of it. Because Sizzla Kalonji go up on stage and say, we are the Hebrew Israelites. Hebrew Israelites don't serve idols, don't serve Rasta, no serve Christianity. If you are an Hebrew Israelite, you only have one God, and that is the God in the Bible. So you see the hypocrisy. But we have to bring out these things, because guess what? If we don't bring it out, you are led like, you know what I mean, lamb to slaughter. You love Ethiopians and Ethiopia. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, them don't love you. You understand? Let me finish reading this. Furthermore, Garvey himself didn't think highly of Selassie. That is common knowledge. But in every Rastafari community, you see one picture of Haile Selassie and one picture of Marcus Garvey. Why? When two of them did not see eye to eye. But that is what you do when you invent a religion. You understand? All right, let me get some more articles. See? Let me tell you what Marcus Garvey really believed. Let me show you. Share this live around 40 hours day night. You know what I mean? I should have, you know what I mean? Should have 4,000 hours there. See? Share this around. Because, you know what I mean? If all of Jamaica hear this information, we can make a difference. You know what I mean? We now no more Rastafariism after all of this come out. Then you can get with children off a weed. Then we can stop youth up there on the corner if you hear about them and miggle, because now them know say, yo, oh, Rasta say weed is some kind of religious, you know what I mean, act, when all it is the abusing of a herb, and it's not healthy. If we get rid of Rastafariism and Christianity, you know, we solve half our problem them, you know. Next is politics, you know. Get rid of them too, you know. We solve the problems here. Come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. If we do that, trust me, man, you will see how great them people in Jamaica is. But we have some anchor and some shackles are wall with down bridging, and it is these mindsets, these schools of thought, you know what I mean, the Rastafariism and the Christian church. Them things are limit with bridging. You understand? And because we're so poor, we can't, you know what I mean, we don't have the time for do good research, bridging. Information that is there, right there. You understand? That is right there. But poverty, bridging, make we don't have time for look, open up a book and say, there it is. Poverty. You know what I mean? But that's why we give thanks to the I.S.U.P.K and the command in general, YAHANNA, because we are not rich like your Christian churches. We don't have billions of dollars, but we in the same, you know what I mean? Well, you know what I mean? Brothers in its truth are not poor still, but you know what I mean? We even in our poverty, see, we go so boop and still find time to learn with history. We fight the fight that you can't fight. That's why we tell you support the I.S.U.P.K. We are your military. We are your government. You understand? Don't look on the youth to him look like a ghetto youth. You say him can't lead. Or don't look on the brother because him not look like a Christian pastor and say, yo, him can't lead. He's not a righteous man. Show him a beard on him face and him talk rough and him talk tough. Brethren, David and Solomon and them man, there wasn't no, you know what I mean, no sissy in the Christian church. You understand? Or no weed smoking Rasta. They were rough Brothers, Yahawashi Mashiach, which is Jesus, our King. Him is a austere brother. Don't be afraid of our appearance. True, we look rough and tough. We not go say, afraid of them, brother, we can't trust them. Support the I.S.U.P.K and stop feed that homosexual and that child molester in the Christian church. Stop feeding that bastard. Support the UPK. Go to ISUPK.org and pay your tithes and stop feeding the pastor for tell you lies. And stop smoke weed. I'm paying the drug man because you feel like, say, boy, weed are going to make you wise. Weed make you become schizophrenic. Weed make you become bipolar. Or if you're bipolar by birth, weed turn in a madman. That's why we have so much madman on the road. Blame your Rastafari leaders for that. Blame your Rastafari leaders for that. Blame your Christian church to the bag of homosexuals and lesbians where you see. And blame the Rastafari community for the madman them where you see on the road. And your little son in 10th grade and 9th grade rubbing out him and Miguel. Blame them for that. We don't come against these religions without reason in our brethren. We see what these religions and these belief systems are doing to you. And commanding General YAHANNA send we. You know what I mean? If we set the record straight, brother. So support the I.S.U.P.K and commanding General YAHANNA. Pay your tithes to the real priests, prophets, and military and governance of your people. Andrew Wellness is not your government. If you don't know that by now, I don't know when you are going to know. The JLP and the PMP is not your government. The only government you have is the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding General YAHANNA. The only government. You have nothing else. And you need nothing else. You understand? You are not no Moors. You are not no Rasta. You are not no Kemet. Kemet full of homosexuals. Them gods, you know what I mean, used to ejaculate in them own mouth to bring life. That is the myth that them believe. So be careful what you not follow, you know, because I see you not run out there and follow this and that because you don't want, you know what I mean, you don't want follow the Bible where say, don't sleep with your brother's wife. Don't thief. Don't murder. See, so that you can live good with your brothers. A brotherhood we are teaching, you know, and brotherhood in the Bible, you know, loving your own people, you know, it comes by keeping these laws. So don't go run, go follow no belief system out there because you don't want to keep the law in the Bible. Because you want to continue smoking weed, you run and follow Kemet. And go off in that little Batman spirit that we follow Kemet. And you don't know, because guess what? All you do is smoke weed. You don't know nothing. What you know? You don't know, but we have to bring it out. If we don't talk about these things, oh, you know. Oh, you know. No care how much, you know what I mean, I will not say all I know, but no care how much our brothers and sisters come against us when we bring out the truth. Brethren, then somebody have to bring out the truth. What you going to do? If somebody tell you the truth, you going to kill them? You have to learn to accept the truth no matter how hard it is to accept. Truth is truth. And we in the I.S.U.P.K, we are the home of the truth. That is our motto. We are the home of the truth. We tell the truth. You know what I mean? We not see no Rasta yet. Link we and say, look, we need to have a debate. We are talking a lie. Not yet, not one. So what go on? Eh? What go on? All right. What we are going to do here now, we are going to jump. We are going to show you where Marcus Garvey believe. Of course, Marcus Garvey never have the full truth in a brethren. See, but Marcus Garvey did know some things. You see, Marcus Garvey was interacting with people in the United States who were, you know what I mean, children of, you know what I mean, slaves. Of course, Marcus Garvey was a child of a slave. But in the United States, you used to have the commandment keepers, you know what I mean, people during slavery. Even here in Jamaica, you know, who used to hide and be Israelites because them know say if they ever come out and say them are Israelite, them eye go get burned out. If them ever found with the Bible reading, them eye go get burned out. Marcus Garvey was able to reach these people. When them see Marcus Garvey and the power that Marcus Garvey was accumulated, many of them found Marcus Garvey and talk with him. and have conversation with him. Of course, conversation alone now go able to make Marcus Garvey follow the truth. Of course, many of these people as well were not fully in truth. They never knew 100. It was the I.S.U.P.K have to bring out the full truth. See? But them find Marcus Garvey because here's a black man who is fighting for black people. And they wanted that liberation. So what them do, them find Marcus Garvey, and Marcus Garvey learned that we were Israelites. We will show you. And Marcus Garvey taught that we were Israelites. You understand? So this says, another personality associated with the Rastafari movement is Marcus Garvey. He taught that Africans are the true Israelites and have been exiled to Jamaica and parts of the world as divine punishment. That is what we teach, and we know that many slaves used to know this. See? Many slaves used to know this, and Marcus Garvey knew this. But guess what? The mistake Marcus Garvey made was saying that Africans are Israelite. Africans are not Israelite. Israelites were taken from Africa while they were in Africa. But Marcus Garvey at least knew that these people who are over here in slavery, they are Israelites. But Marcus Garvey just called us African because he did not know any better. You understand? Marcus Garvey knew that we were Africans, not Africans, Israelites. Marcus Garvey knew that. Marcus Garvey did not, however, believe in a Rastafariism. Let's get that clear. But Marcus Garvey knew that we were Israelites. So now is modern time. The Bible tells us, say, yo, in the latter times, knowledge will go to and fro. This is the knowledge. This is the knowledge we are going to and fro in our brethren. See? Now we all learned something that you never heard before. The reason why you never heard it before is because the white man who is the devil the Bible speak of. You know what I mean? He made it an effort so that you would not know that you are an Israelite. You understand? Just think about it. Why would you invade and capture somebody and then teach them how great they are? Tell them that you are greater than me, no? Why would you do that? Why would you enslave somebody and tell them that, as a matter of fact, you should be in my position? That no make no sense. But what you would do in a situation like that, you would have taken their identity from them and teach them that they are something other than who they really are. And that is what the oppressor did. The oppressor taught you that you were African. And because we didn't have access to, you know what I mean? We did not have access to the records for sure. Rest assured, no. The white man, while he's taking you off of the slave ship, he have a record of who you are, no. Probably even your real name. Probably while putting you on ship, he say, where your name? Where you come from? And him write that down. Because them take good stock in all them slaves, you know. Them take good stock. See him like how him take stock today of everything that him own. Record is there, but you don't have access to the record. You understand? The white man can change him lineage, go straight back for thousands of years. Then you can't do that. But guess what? The white man have your records. Why he don't give you your records? You know him have your records, but why him don't give you the records? We say, all right, here's the answer to who you are. Here's the records. We took records. We know him took records. Here is the records of who you are. Why him will never do that? Because him have no interest in letting you know who you are. You understand? Letting you know who you are that means the fall of him kingdom. Because you can imagine somebody have you in slavery for 400 years and then come to find out you are God's chosen people, and as a matter of fact, is you supposed to rule the earth? What you going to think about? You going to say, wait, but you're bright. Or if you enslave me, I mean, a God pick me. You know, no manners. Imagine if all of us knew that. I mean, not say believe, you know. Knew, because we are telling about history. We are telling about facts. See, we were the people who had the covenant with the Most High. Yashar Allah, Israel. See? Suppose everybody knew that. Then the man we enslave we know, him can't rule over we. because we superior to him. Why are you trying to be equal with your slave master? Especially when you learn that you are actually better than him. All right, well, I'm answer that question. All right. We are of African descent. No, we are not. Well, I don't know who you are. You know. You might as well be an African, but we know that the descendants of the slaves here in Jamaica and in North America, you know what I mean, the Caribbean, you know what I mean, Central and South America, are not Africans, but the Jews. You understand? The Africans are the Egyptians, you know what I mean, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and the South Africans, who are the Canaanites. They are dispersed throughout Africa. But while we were in West Africa, you know what I mean, we were not the Africans. Let me say that properly. The people who were settled in West Africa during the time of slavery were not the Africans. They came from Jerusalem and Europe after they fled Jerusalem down into Africa. I'm explaining it at the beginning of the class. You know what I mean? You're probably just coming in a little bit late. See? But we'll break that down and we'll show you the records them too. And we have much more records. You know what I mean? And him say, so why you Jesus is our king? All right. When we say, all right, the Bible in English call him Jesus, but we know say him Hebrew name is Yahawashai. Mashiach, which means, you know what I mean, savior. See, Yahawashai means savior. See, he was a black man, not that white Jesus. We are not a Christian boy in a virgin. We born white Jesus, you know. See, we know that the Bible is saying black. You understand? Yeah, man. The white man come from the Caucasus mountain. That is right. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Gifted one. Big up yourself for that. See? Or Mount Seir. Like the Bible call it Mount Seir, which is the Caucasus mountain in Georgia, Russia. You know what I mean? In Russia. See? Yeah, man. All right. What we know? Yeah, so we just prove to you that Marcus Garvey did not believe in Rastafariism, despite the Rastafari community making him out to be their prophet. Marcus Garvey would, you know what I mean, go around smacking them in the face if he was alive and tell him to take him name off or something there. See? However, Marcus Garvey did believe that the people who were brought over here into slavery are the real Israelites. You understand? Marcus Garvey believed that. See? All right, what would they know? All right, this hour. All right, so we're there, Leonard Howell, you know. You understand? A whole heap of information, you know, and we have some scripture for read. See? Remember to like this, you know what I mean, page. Follow this page. You know what I mean? This is I.S.U.P.K. Jamaica under commanding General YAHANNA. Share this class around. You know what I mean? Share it to your Rastafari brethren. All right, somebody say, oh, should we say we are slaves to come here from ship when we were already on this earth first? All right, that is a different kind of reasoning. Zin? All right. We now say we are slaves, like, you know what I mean, we are meant to be slaves, you know. We just identify the group of people that we are talking about. So when we say we are Israelites, we really are talking about the people who were brought over here as slaves. We know that is facts, that there was people brought over here as slaves. These are the people who are the Israelites, we are saying. We are make a distinction between we and the Africans. All right, now you say we're here first. I don't know if you mean was here in Jamaica first or here on the earth first. You understand? Well, if you're talking about being here on the earth first, you probably attack, say, all people come from Africa and rare. Well, we are not Africans. See? We are not the Africans. You know what I mean? This thing about civilization start in Africa, that's a lie. Civilization start in Jerusalem. You understand? In the Middle East. You understand? And then them disperse to other parts of the earth, including Africa. Because who you call the Africans today, they were once the Canaanites. They were in Jerusalem. they are the land that we call Jerusalem, the Middle East. Majority of the Middle East is that land. Well, Jerusalem is majority of the Middle East. Let me say it right. Jerusalem is the city. However, the land that we occupied would be majority of the Middle East. However, the place where civilization started was the Middle East. That's why they call it the Middle East, because it is the middle center of the earth. And then everybody dispersed from there to different parts of the earth. At one point, over Yasso had no people. Nobody lived over here because civilization stemmed from the Middle East and nobody had come over here to settle yet. What had happened was, our brothers, the Taino Indian, which is our northern kingdom, the 10 tribes, the last tribes of Israel, when they were kicked out of the land first because of disobedience and idolatry, the Most High got us out of the land through war and slavery and oppression and drought and famine. See, they came over here first and they occupied North, Central, and South America and the Caribbean. They are what you call the Native Indians, the Taino Indians, the Arawaks. You know what I mean? This is how civilization spread. You understand? Of course, we know the white man through him knows that they were the Israelites. Come over here, find them. The same Roman Catholic Church sending Christopher Columbus. You understand? To come find them, kill them, genocide them, and then came for the other 3 tribes or 2.5 tribes over there in West Africa. This was not an accident. You know what I mean? There's no atrocity like slavery and the genocide that happened to our native Indian brothers is an accident. That can never be an accident. The Jewish man was Holocaust and him don't call it an accident. So why is 200 million people being killed during the time of slavery? You know what I mean? And the genocide of the North American Indians and the Arawak Indians. Why we want to call that an accident? That is not an accident. That was a persecution. You understand? All right, so together we are all 10. Together we are all 12 tribes, but the 10 tribes were the Northern Kingdom. We were split. After Solomon went off, the kingdom split. Some of them say, some tribes separate from some. So only 2 tribes remain, in Jerusalem and a half, if you consider, well, Levi is the priest. They weren't considered a tribe. They're a tribe now, though. See? So half of the tribe of Levi went with the 10 other tribes and half stayed with Judah and Benjamin. Judah and Benjamin today is North American Negroes and Caribbean Negroes. You know what I mean? Levi is Asian or Haiti. The Levites were brought to Haiti. See? No, the North American Negroes, not the North American Negroes, the North American Indians, the Taino Indians, the Seminole Indians, you know what I mean, from North America come straight down to South America. They were the 10 tribes. That's why them have them more than we. 10 tribes them there. See, they came over here first. The kingdom split. We had a civil war. You know what I mean? We were serving the Most High for the most part. They were not. The Most High get them out of the land and put them in a slavery under the Assyrians. See? Then after the Assyrians got overthrown, they decided them not stay over there because, you know what I mean? Basically, they were embarrassed, feeling cut off. You know, like when you know, say you're the Most High chosen people and now you feel rejected, them say, them shame. So them say, we're going to go to a land where everybody know about. Say, this land over here, everybody knew that the Americas exist, but nobody dwell over here. Then they say, we are going to go over there, so. And we have to keep the laws of our God. And we now come back over here. So, and the whole of them come over here. So migrate. See? And them occupy. But while over here, what them do? And break the Most High law same way. Do the same thing with them that do over there. So. You know what I mean? And then the Most High just allow the white man to come and just, you know what I mean? This totally destroy them. And then send for we. Punishment. This is punishment, brethren. You understand? But Taino Indians, Arawak Indians, Negroes are brothers. We are not Africans, brother. Not Africans. We are Africans, not brothers. They sold us into slavery to the white man because they knew that we are not their people. You see, this is a common knowledge I know still. All right, watch you know now. Watch you know. See? All right, we'll talk about Leonard Howell. You know what I mean? We're gone in the class far still, you know, what time? We're gone over the 2-hour mark, you know. All right, here we are going to do. I'm going to read the Leonard Howell thing and I'm going to read a couple scripture. See? You know what I mean? I'm going to break the class in a 2. So next week, Tuesday, we're going to finish up on this. We might add something to it because some other interesting or important topic might come up and we have to add it to it. But you know what I mean? We're going to try to finish this next week. You understand? So we're going to read a little bit about Leonard Howell. And we're going to show you where the weed smoking come from. You know what I mean? All right. All right. I'm not going to read all of them I want to read. I'm going to read some. See? So this said, the conviction came 2 years into Howell's leadership of the Rastafari movement. See? Let me make sure the right thing I read. 1 second. Remember to follow this page. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. All right. Howell's emergence in Clarendon. So who is Leonard Howell? Leonard Howell is the founder of the Rastafari movement. He was a Garveyite, you know what I mean, who went astray. Of course, being a Garveyite don't mean you have the truth neither. Let me just make that clear. But he went off serving Selassie when Marcus Garvey never even considered Selassie as even a strong man. See? So Leonard Howell, who is the founder of the Rastafari movement, emergence in Clarendon, we know the parish of Clarendon, Zine, took place at a time when many East Indians lived in parts of the parish. Yeah, because even though you have a lot of East Indians are coolie in Clarendon, because there is where they landed when they were brought here as indentured servants. You know what I mean? Slavery had been abolished. The slaves weren't working for free. As a matter of fact, the slaves, I'm referring to us as the slaves, you know, just to identify our people. See? We were not doing the work that we were doing in slavery. So they imported East Indians. Of course, Britain ruled India at the time, so they just imported, but they weren't slaves. We were the slaves. They used us as slaves, but not them. They were in Clarendon, a lot of them, and they brought their customs, Hinduism. Watch this. Listen. It is therefore not surprised that, as both Hill and Lee have pointed out, Howell, which is Leonard Howell, the father of the Rastafari movement, made use of his exposure to Indian culture and the Hindu language. This was while he was in Clarendon. See? Watch this now. Next paragraph. Howell's use of Hindu visual and symbolism in the promotion of the Rastafari movement has received attention from scholars. Listen, want me to read that again? Howell's use of Hindu visual symbolism in the promotion of the Rastafari movement has received attention from scholars. And the most recent work on this has been done by the late art historian Petrine Archer. In addition, the ritual use of marijuana. Let me read that again. In addition, the ritual use of marijuana and its association with the Indians. That is why Rasta smoke weed today, and them call it a religious, I forgot the word where them use it as, say them use it in their religious ceremonies or rituals. Because Leonard Howell, who was the founder of the Rastafari movement, learned that from the Hindus that were here in Jamaica, that is still here. And guess why he learned as well? But he did not take up this practice. The dreads. The dreads are also Hindu. We're going to show you that. You're going to see this. Well, I'm going to turn it so you can see it. I turn the camera so you can see this. Zin, watch this. 1 second. We'll come back to that article, you know. Zin. 1 second. Hold on. Get a good picture. So you understand, so you see. You know what I mean? The other day, you know what I mean, while on the road, we saw one of such Hindus who wear dreadlocks. A young girl, a young Indian girl with locks, long go straight down to the back of her foot. You know what I mean? With the dot on her head. That has been in Hinduism for thousands of years. You know what I mean? Rasta does pick it up because of Leonard Howell. All right, let me show you this picture. See? I'll come back to the article. So this is, at first glance, you would think this is a Rasta man. Let me show you. See? At first glance, you would think this is a Rasta man. But if you look closely, you see the red dot on his head. You understand? So, that is not a Rasta man. That is a Hindu. That is a worshipper of Shiva. But notice, he's smoking the weed and he's wearing the dreads. The Hindu is known for lack of proper hygiene, so their ear does automatically become like that. How we pick up that custom is when Leonard Howell introduced those customs in the worship of Selassie. So initially, they were following Hindu customs with the smoking of weed and the twisting of the ear, or the matting of the ear, which like we bring out is not relax. We brought that out earlier in the class. Relax is braids, key and row, plait. That is relax. Something adores. Not that. We see the Rastafari community emulate. Not that. You understand? Let me jump back to the article now. I'm going to read back what I just read so you get it in the proper context. You understand? See? Watch this. Read it again. Howell's use of Hindu visual symbolism in the promotion of the Rastafari movement has received attention from scholars. So he used Hindu symbols and customs in a new religion where he create. He might look for some practice to make Rasta a religion or make it, you know what I mean, look like something. So him say, all right, the Hindus, them have, well, me like the marijuana smoking. Well, he might personally never twist him ear, but other Rasta started to twist them ear or mat them ear. Not lock it, because that is not locks. See, dreads, that is what they did, them dread them ear. You understand? Listen, Howell use of Hindu visual symbolism in the promotion of Rastafari movement has received attention from scholars, and the most recent work on is has been done by the late art historian Petrine Archer. In addition, the ritual use of marijuana, he got it from the Hindus, from the Indian, the coolie them when nothing in Jamaica now. Everywhere you go, you see coolie integrating in our society now. Right now, you look at a coolie, you don't know if it's a Benjamite or an East Indian anymore because, you know what I mean, they have become like one of us. But they are not, if on their father's side, if they are Hindu on their father's side, they are not our people. We're going to explain that. See? All right, so watch this. So it's in addition, the ritual use of marijuana and its association with Indians, which appear in the tradition of sadhana and prasad, has been examined in other studies. By joining African and Indian tradition in its shaping of the Rastafari movement, Howell gave both groups representation and a sense of agency in colonial Jamaica. So he fused this African belief with Hinduism, and that is Rastafariism. You understand? That is Rastafariism. The smoking of the weed and the dreading of the ear is the Hindu custom of the worship of Shiva. You know what I mean? Commanding General YAHANNA has been bringing this out for years. Years. You understand? But the Most High forbids us to smoke weed. All right, so now we are going to go into some scriptures. Remember to share on this live. You understand? share on this live. We'll read a few scriptures. We're out of time, you know. You know what I mean? All right, so this person say, road code life, say, man a tree and tree a man, we grow locks, just like the tree grow them, leave natural. All right, so remember what I tell you, say, the reason why the Rastafari community use for smoking weed is the weed was grown on Solomon grave. That is one of the sayings that them get you for believe, say, is the reason why them grow locks. You understand that? I one of the fairy tale them about man a tree and tree a man. You understand? That is one of the fairy tale argument them use or don't have no real credence or nothing. I just some bagger weird talking. Man a tree and tree a man. So we grow locks. I bring it out earlier, brother. Where the Rastafari move community wear upon them head is not locks. It is dreads. And it is as a result of, you know what I mean, from the East Indians. That's where them get it from. The East Indians never practice proper hygiene in their religious custom. You understand? Let me show you something again. You see the priests in Hinduism, the most renowned priests, them eat shit and them roll in shit and them have them lock. Them, not them lock, but them dread. You know what I mean? And them dirt like madman. That is what them call holy. You understand? And that is what, I mean, I say the Rastafari movement eat shit, you know, I mean, I say that. Of course, our people who in the Rastafari movement, me not think them would have do that. Me not think so. At the end of the day, we are Israelites. We not believe in the eating of shit and them thing there. Like the Africans, them and the Hindus, them and them. Certain things we not join. We might go as far as join weed smoking, but me know we not go be in a shit like the Hindus them. Me know we not do that. You know what I mean? So me not say the Rastafari community do that. You know, I doubt they will ever do that. See? However, that dread come from people who do those things. You understand? There's a lot of things you don't know, you know, and a lot of things you get sweet talk into believing. Like man a tree and tree a man and we grow lock. You get sweet talk like a girl who don't know no better, you know what I mean? A naive woman who gets sweet talk by a man. And you accept lies, not knowing real facts. Don't be so gullible. We there the I.S.U.P.K and the command in general, and they have to teach, you know. That's why we name I.S.U.P.K, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. It's practical. We teach the Bible because the Bible is practical. It's not a religious book. And we teach our people. Tonight is Brotherhood Class. This is a class you're currently in. This is not a TikTok live. This is a class. You understand? But the Rastafari community don't have those classes. Because once you start studying in that place, you're going to find out, say, look, wait, a madness this, you know. The Christian church don't do no classes. Because once you start to read, then you realize that the Christian church are madness. Well, guess what? You see, when you like say them thing there, you know, no one man know everything, you know. Firstly, I never claim to know everything. But one thing me know, we in the I.S.U.P.K know the things that matters. We can't tell you how much stars in the universe. We can't tell you if, you know what I mean, there's a planet in this solar system that can, you know what I mean, can have life, live on it. We don't know that. But we know everything that matters to our people. We know everything that our people need to know. You understand? We never claim to know everything. What we are letting you know now, and we not try disrespect you or nothing, brother. Because if you have a question, you know what I mean, your question valid. Zin, we not disrespect you. You know what I mean? But you not knowing everything is the reason why we are here. For show you what you don't know. That's why we bring out these information. You understand? You understand? So we not claim to know everything, but we know everything that matters to our people. See, we know everything that our people need to know. We don't need to know how much star in the universe. We don't need to know if the earth flat or round, even though the Bible says it's round. We don't need to get into the argument there. We know that you need to stop smoke weed. That's how we know. We know that you must stop sleep with your brother's wife. That's how we know. You understand? We know that you need to keep the laws of the Most High. All right, the battery I got dead. See? All right, we're going to read a scripture. Of course, next week. All right, so here we're going to break up next week class now. Next week class are going to just be the scriptures them. You know what I mean? Basically, denouncing everything that Rastafariism claim is in the Bible. We're going to show you that the Bible does not agree with Rastafariism. See? You know, man, that would be more easier. You understand? All right, so watch out now. We're going to jump to some scriptures. Just a few. See? You know what I mean? We already gone 2 hours and 17 minutes in the class. You understand? Sometimes we go for 3 hours, but you know what I mean? We're going to cut that one for 2 hours. The classes are usually 2 hours. You know what I mean? But sometimes on the live, just to accommodate with brothers and sisters on TikTok, you know what I mean? We'll go for 3 hours, but you know what I mean? We'll break the class here in 2 because if we start go through the whole life scripture, them are probably 4 or 5 hours. You see? All right, so let me find the scripture them. 1 second. Yeah, man, this is the right scripture. All right, so this is the book of 2 Kings 17, 34 to 39. And it says, and to this day they do after the former manner. They fear not the Lord, neither do they after their statutes. What statutes? The law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High give us. So the Most High is chastising us and telling us that we still keep up foolishness and we not keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Or after their ordinance, or after the law and commandment which the Lord commanded the children of Jacob, which we are the children of Jacob, which Jacob name was changed to Israel or Yashar Allah, whom he named Israel, right? Zin, which whom the Lord had made a covenant and charged them, saying, ye shall not fear other gods. Don't fear Selassie. Where your business about Selassie about? You have a covenant with the real creator of the earth. Where you look upon this man and we could even, you know what I mean, save him own people, but had to flee to oppressors for help. All right, so that is it. Let me finish the class on YouTube. But you done over here, so. See? So don't fear Selassie. You know what I mean? Let me continue reading. See? 1 second. So it says, with whom the Lord had made a covenant and charged them, saying, ye shall not fear other gods, nor bow yourself to them, nor serve them, nor sacrifice to them. Why are you smoking weed? Zin, in serving to Selassie, but Eli Emmanuel, Holy Selassie, Rastafari. Why are you doing that while licking the chalice? Let me continue reading. 36. But the Lord who brought you up out of the land of Egypt with great power and a stretched out arm, him shall ye fear, and him shall ye worship, and to him shall ye do sacrifice. See? Verse 37. And the statutes and the ordinance and the law and the commandment which he wrote for you, ye shall observe to do forevermore, and ye shall not fear other gods. Stop fearing Selassie. Marcus Garvey certainly did not fear Selassie. Why are you worshiping Selassie? Verse 38. And the covenant that I have made with you, ye shall not forget, neither shall ye fear other gods. Verse 39. But the Lord your God ye shall fear, and he shall deliver you out of the hand of all your enemies. And that is, you know what I mean, our responsibility as the children of Israel. You understand? Not to worship any heathen as God, but to serve the Most High power. Our God, our power. You know what I mean? And keep his laws. And with that, we're going to jump to the security announcements. Remember to share around this class. You know what I mean? Like this video. Leave your comments and your questions. You know what I mean? All right, so we'll jump to the security announcements. All right, so these are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements, where the I.S.U.P.K started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. 1 second. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the word. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers chapter 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, that is the feast of dedication, or Hanukkah. This is the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. This is Saturday the 17th of December. So just tune into I.S.U.P.K, you know what I mean? Any I.S.U.P.K school on the 17th, you know what I mean? And just log in with us, you understand, and celebrate the holy day, you know what I mean? That your people used to celebrate, and don't celebrate Christmas, you understand? So it's Saturday the 17th of December, you know what I mean, for 8 days. You can find this in the book of 1 Maccabees 4:52 to 61. See? All right. One second. Reminding Akyam and Akwatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he's to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or a scarf. And with that, we say, I'm Mariam. You know what I mean? All right. So what we will do now, we'll just give one courtesy salute and close out the class. You know what I mean? Men of Israel, I'm Mariam Shabbat. I'm Mariam Barak. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Barakatham. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel. I'm Mariam Shabbat. I'm Mariam Barak. Yahweh Shamar Al Son Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Yadimata. Class dismissed. All right, so, you know what I mean? Remember to share on the class, as I said before. Leave your questions or your comments in the chat, you know what I mean, or in the comment section when it's, you know what I mean, processed on YouTube. And also subscribe to this channel, I.S.U.P.K Jamaica under Commanding General YAHANNA. Zin? If you want to attend classes, just call the number, you know what I mean, in the description of any of our pages, you know what I mean, and we will facilitate you attending classes, all right? And with that, we're going to close out with some music, you know what I mean? So, shalom.
They did the same thing to my people. They put millions of my Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. One day you'll see just how it feels.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tickle my king and the angels, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles are making it official. I'm capturing every crack and surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember YAHANNA's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. Devils design fire for our babies to pass through in the day of our king's reign. I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog.